Yosef lit Chanukah candles in Mitzrayim. You probably never heard that before, because there's no such chazal. But I want to try to prove that it's true. The Torah tells us in Parshat Vayeshev, Vayehi Hashem es Yosef, Vayehi ish matzliach, that Hashem was with Yosef, and he was a successful guy. Vayehi bebeis Adonav Mitzri, where was he? He was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. That's the first pasuk. Hashem was with Yosef, and he was successful. Vayar Adonav ki Hashem itoi, and his master saw Hashem was with him. And whatever he would do, Hashem allowed him to be successful. So what do we learn from the second pasuk that we didn't know in the first? First pasuk says that Hashem was with Yosef and he was successful. And the second pasuk says he was in his master's house and he was successful because Hashem allowed him to be. What's the difference? The difference is that in the second pasuk it says that his master saw that Hashem was with him. If you want to tell me his master saw that he was successful, I understand. His master saw that he was successful. How did his master see that Hashem was with him? You can't see that Hashem is with you. You can only see that a person's successful. That's bothering Rashi. And Rashi writes, Ki Hashem itoy, that Hashem was with him. Shem Shomayim Shagur Befiv. The name of Shomayim was fluent in his mouth. He was constantly making reference to HaKadosh Baruch Hu's involvement in his life. What does this have to do with Chanukah? Probably the strangest thing about the mitzvah of Ner Chanukah is how much money you have to spend on it. Every single mitzvah's aseh, and we're talking daraisa on the Torah level, any mitzvah from the Torah, a person wants to know how much money does he have to spend. A person becomes a Baal Tshuva. He finds out there's a mitzvah tefillin. How much money does he have to spend on his tefillin? So the halacha is only 20%. 20%, 1/5 of what he has, that's all he has to pay. But what about Ner Chanukah? If a person wants to know how much money do I have to spend on Ner Chanukah, I don't have a lot of cash, what do I need to spend? So Shulchan Aruch says, you have to be very careful. A person has to even sell his clothing in order to have oil, wicks, to have Ner Chanukah. So I don't understand. So that means that this mitzvah of Ner Chanukah, which is Derabanan, actually you have to spend more money on it than a mitzvah from the Torah? How could that be? And this is really just a reflection of the Rambam. The Rambam writes, it's a mitzvah chaviva hi ad ma'od. Rambam gets flowery on it. He said, it's such a special, precious mitzvah to Hashem. What makes it so special? You take a look at the Mefarsh, and the answer is, what's unique about Ner Chanukah from any other mitzvah is that there's pirsume nisa. It's publicizing, it's shouting out to the world that HaKadosh Baruch Hu did a nes for Klal Yisrael. That's what makes Ner Chanukah so special and so unique. That mitzvah of Pirsume Nisa, you have to spend more money than any other mitzvah's aseh. So let's just try to get straight the idea. The idea is that whenever a person is expressing HaKadosh Baruch Hu's miraculous involvement in the world, it's more fundamental than mitzvos. The truth is, you find this in another place too. If you remember, a few parshios ago, so Eliezer went to find a wife for Yitzchak. And when he's looking for a wife, he tells over the entire story all over again. The Torah recorded the entire story twice. When the Torah records it twice, Rashi points out, Yafe sichasan shel avdei avos lifnei hamakom mitarasan shel banim. More precious is the conversations of the servants of the avos than the Torah of the children. How could that be? It's just a conversation. He's just telling over the story about what happened, but he's telling over HaKadosh Baruch Hu's involvement. He's telling over HaKadosh Baruch Hu's nes that happened with getting a wife for Yitzchak. Yafe sichason mitarasan shel banim. Yafe sichason. So the same thing by Ner Chanukah. Ner Chanukah is about expressing HaKadosh Baruch Hu's involvement in this world. That's what Yosef did. Yosef's whole life, and you see it again in this week's parasha, is to always say, whatever I do is because of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu enabled me. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving me the talents. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Elokim, Elokim, Elokim. He always associates. That's what it says in the pasuk, Shem Shamayim Shagur Befiv. When his master saw that Yosef was successful, he didn't see that Yosef was successful. He saw that Hashem was with Yosef. As the future leaders of Klal Yisrael that we're trying to produce here in Yeshiva University. So this is probably the most important thing that we can do. When we become leaders for the next generation, and for this generation for that matter, our job is not just to express ourselves. Our job is to show that whatever we do is for Kavod Shemayim, and always we should be saying Baruch Hashem, everything we should attribute to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and Shem Shamayim shall be shagur in our mouths as well. When we celebrate our Chanukah, we should remember that when we express the nace and we light our candles, it's no different than saying Baruch Hashem and attributing all of our success to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Everyone should have success.